Quick reminder, in this tutorial, we'll be using a very sharp X-Acto knife and a hot glue gun, so please handle with care. The PDF companion downloads aren't available yet. They'll be added later in the series for a tiny contribution. But for now, enjoy this free tutorial and follow along step by step. Before we move on with this video, don't worry about this long belt that seems to be going side to side. We're going to be concentrating on just this vertebrae wire joint right here. Alright, so let's get going. We're going to add the vertebrae wire joint into the vert hole. I'm calling it vert hole right here. Take the end that has the grip tip and the eye loop here. And as you can see, the bottom part of the screen here, this flat diagram, I hope you can see this okay. 1/6 scale action figure, and then you see foot 2 times here. And of course, this is for the larger, taller action figure, which is about 12 inches. This is the shorter action figure, which is about 10.5, close to 11 inches here. And that's going to be me, because I'm a shorty dude. What I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to take our taint, our quads here, our midsection of the action figure, and place it right down here where it says waist and pelvic. And see this little marking here? That's where we're going to kind of lay it. And then our knees should be showing down here. We can take our vertebrae and we can stick it on in here. Just make sure it stays right around the head and the shoulders area. That says shoulders right here. You'll be able to see your diagram better. If you see the shoulders right in this area here, here's the neck. You can't really see it at this angle, but I can see it, and it's going to be right there in the neck area. I got a little bit better angle, okay? So here's the little line on the little diagram that's meeting the waist, okay? So from the waist to the bottom portion of the ear, if your wire joint looks like this is what it should look like in terms of the length. Take this out. This is how much we want glued, and we know that the grip tip and the eye loop is going to get a lot of the adhesive glue right into this section, because that's where we want all the glue to kind of solidify around. Go ahead and do this. I have some parchment paper on here, and I'm going to prime the parchment paper, and this stuff's good for priming. And what I mean by that, I'm going to do a trigger pump of glue to make sure that we have a full trigger pump. If you don't prime it, you're probably going to get like half trigger pump of glue. Now that I've primed it, every time a full trigger pump will come out. And that's about as much we want in here. I'm good to go. I'm going to go ahead and add one full trigger pump, and then I'm going to put glue into this eye loop and onto the grip tip here, and I'm going to just stick it in there up to my finger here. Right about there. Swashbuckle that around, placing it right back onto our diagram and making sure that we're good down here. And if we are, we can add glue right onto the base of the vertebrae, right here. And that's all we're doing, just a little bit of glue right on the base. Lay this down and just eyeball it and just make sure. And then we can go ahead and let that rest and dry. It's going to take about a minute or two to actually dry pretty good, but a good 5 minutes straight up in there. It looks good to me. We're going to keep moving on. Grab your trusty pink foam we got from Home Depot, right in the building material section. Abs, it's the belly section. As you can see, I've already made 3 with the straw bone vertebrae joints glued inside. I wanted to show you a quicker version to make this ab. As you can see, 2 phases right here. I'll put it more in the middle of the screen. 2 phases right here. So these are the 2 pieces for our abs. This is not going to really be a fold trace or fold cut in your PDF downloads. It'll probably look exactly like this. So you'll probably want to go ahead and just trace this and transfer this onto a food box cardstock cardboard. I'll flip it around so you can see what it looks like. This is phase 2. This one's going to be a fold trace and a fold cut. Basically, as you know, CF, fold a piece of paper in half. I'm not going to do it on camera because by now you should be able to do a fold trace and fold cut, but fold a piece of paper and trace this out, and basically it looks like this. Okay, you're going to want to have these 2 pieces prepared for the section of this video tutorial. You can see I already cut out 3 spots that you see that are blank right here. And I've just been kind of rotating because, as you can see, there's a little bit of an angle to this ab piece. I'm getting my pieces all mixed up. This is not a taint, this is abs, okay? Abs. Okay, trust me, I just don't, I had like 7 cups of coffee already, so let's keep going. I've been rotating it up and down like this, and now I'm at the point where it's actually going up. This little arrow is facing up. I'm going to quickly just use my uniball signal and just, yeah, trace it all out, including the 1 cuts right here. Yes, this is a 1 cut right here. Okay, 1 cut, 1C. 1 cut, 1 cut. Okay, take this off and it should look like this, right? Even have these 2 little markings on them. Go ahead and cut this out really quickly. The point of this is just to do it really quickly. I'm stab cutting it straight down, right? Right down, and I'm stab cutting it straight down the top side here. Go ahead and rock this on over and cut straight down. You can't really see at this angle, but I'm cutting it straight down to the table, right? This part, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out because that is actually a cutout. I'm going straight down, I'm following the line. This one right here, straight down the line, straight down the line. I'm gonna go ahead and stab cut this top part right here, just right down there. Boom. Just like that. Can we see that? I'm going to go ahead and just make a score line here and a score line here. That's what it should look like because these two sides here are coming off, right? They're coming off. We should have been able to pull this out really quickly. I'm going to go ahead and put these aside. I should be able to just pluck this out just like this, right? Okay, these two markings on side to side should match up to this middle part. So we're going to go ahead and put score line here and score line there. We're going to go ahead and turn this over and do the same exact thing here. Go ahead and just cut straight down. We should be able to meet up with this middle here, and we're going to cut this right in the middle right there. We should be able to null and cut this out, right? Be able to pull out real simple. If not, just kind of assist it on the bottom here. We should be able to roll this on out using our blade. Okay, alright, should be able to melon cut that out. So we have this middle fork that's missing here. So let's keep going. We are going to follow these markings right here. Keep in mind I'm using my blade, okay, my very sharp X-Acto blade to make all of our markings to make it a lot simpler, right? I hardly see this marking here, but we're going to make a score line and meet those markings right there. Same thing like this right there because this is coming off. We can just go ahead and go all the way to the middle part right here. Flip this over and we will follow this score line and go to the middle part and it should come off on both sides just like that. You might have a little bit of flashing in the middle, but that's okay. That's coming on. That's not even going to be seen. The point of this is to go fast. We're going to go all the way down to the middle. See, we're just going to the middle, right? We're going to stop right here and we're going to flip this over and do the same thing to the middle. You may be asking yourself, why not do this while this was actually inside the larger part of the foam before we chunked it out? Not kept it this shape and did it right away. It's a lot easier to take this piece out of the larger part of the foam rather than try to cut this while it's inside the other piece of the foam we chunked out. Promise you, I've done it and it's a lot easier to do it in parts like this. And we should be able to melon cut both sides out. And a little bit of flashing, okay? Looks kind of like the front of the Millennium Falcon, right? That's kind of cool. So let's go ahead and take this piece right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on top. Keep in mind we have a front, which is a skinnier front, and the back, which is a little bit thicker. So whichever front or back you decide to make it, I'm gonna go ahead and this is the front because this was the top side, and that's gonna be seen the most. I'm gonna put this right on top. Should fit pretty nicely. What we're gonna do is see this middle hole right here? We're not even gonna make any markings. We're gonna use our X-Acto knife right to the edge of this hole and just kind of go down to where it stops, right? Kind of the middle of the blade. Same with this, we're going to go to the edge of this hole and go down and go to the middle of the blade. Okay, that's all we're doing. Take this off and we're going to go ahead and stick this right down the middle, kind of swirly dirly it. Keep going with me. We're going to go ahead and smash handy screwdriver right down the middle. Check that out. It should go all the way through. You should be able to see it. Can we see that? Yeah. Let's go ahead and continue with this piece. Of course, we made this the front, remember? Go ahead and put this down on the front. Just like this. It's not going to reach this end, but that's okay. Just as long as it goes straight down because we're going to make a score line to follow right down along this brown paper bag stock right here. We're going to go ahead and make a score line right here. We're going to go to this side, being very careful, making a score line like this. A score line like this on top. Same with this back portion, score line right here. Follow this brown paper bag stock, straight score line. This side, a straight score line. A little diagonal score line right there. We can take this off, back in the jar. We can see some score lines on the screen, right? Might be a little bit hard to see, but I can see these little cut marks, right? What we want to follow. It's going to be a lot easier if we go ahead and put our blade into one of the parts of the score line, lean it over, and we're going to follow both score lines, the top and the front, so that we know that we're getting a nice even cut right down the score line, just like that, right? Same thing on this. We're going to rotate this over, and this time we're going on the front score line. We're going to start and see how it's going straight up and down, and we're going to follow this both score lines to make sure it's nice and even. It's kind of at an angle, but I know that I'm cutting it nice and even, cutting that off. Check that out. Flip this over, do the same thing on top, and I'm going to follow this score line, kind of going at an angle. Eyeball it better off camera, but that's all we're doing. We're just following this score line and cutting it all the way down. Same with this side, we're going to go ahead and rest this right on top of the score line and cut it at an angle and cut that off as well, okay? Alright, and we should be looking like that. So we want to take care of the front too as well. Remember this front line right here? This time we want to meet this score line. We don't have a real marker, but the marker is basically this flash point. Remember this very middle flash point? Actually angle it off to the flash point from this top score line. We'll start from here and go down to this flash point, and that's how much we're going to be cutting off this side. Same with this side. We're going to go ahead and follow this same angle and cut this off on the front like that. Check that out. That's what we want. Do finally the back. We cut off the markers on the back, but we know that top part of this section is where we want to go straight across, just like this. Can we see that? Kind of hard to see, but we're going to rock this over and remember the middle of the flashing here. Follow that and cut that much off, okay? Same with this. We're using this cut part as a guide across this score line right here, and we're going to go ahead and just boom. Look how simple and easy that was. Now we need to actually even this up here a little bit on that side, and we're good to go, everybody. For comparison, so we have 4 abs now. You can go ahead and just do trims all around the top side. Check this out. We're just trimming it, rounding it off. It's going to help with attaching the ab covers. We're just rounding out the sharp edges. That's all we're doing. You can also shave this down a little bit skinnier along the waist side so the waist is a little bit more fit, like he's been working out, or she's been working out, or they've been working out, however you want to call them, or he or she. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of abs and crunches at Gold's Gym, right? I'm going to go ahead and add the straw bone, which should be pretty easy. We're going to cut about that much off. And just to let you know, that's about an inch, okay? I cut off about an inch of our McDonald's handy dandy straw, right? Shoving that right onto the screwdriver and slam-a-jamming right from the top side of the waist. And we're going to go ahead and twist and shout this little doodad in there so that it goes all the way through. Keep in mind, I had my fingers on the shaft of the screwdriver and the straw. Let that go on through. Can we see that? Can you see that straw peeking out in there? It's kind of turtle head. It's kind of turtle heading right there. Go ahead and chop the top part of this off. 4s, right? Chop this into 4s right here, that top side. Put our finger in there and split all the cracks open, and of course we're going to glue these flowers down. Taking our parchment paper, put a little dollop of glue right on top right here, just a little bit, a pin drop of glue. We're going to slam a jam of this parchment paper right on top of those plastic straw flower petals. It's becoming our vertebrae straw bone. Okay, same thing on this side. We're going to put a dollop right there on that flower petal, and that one on that flower petal. I can't even talk. Flower petal, plastic flower petal. And we're going to go and slam that down. We're going to rub that chicken clown down, okay? It's a chicken clown. Let that dry, peel this back, and booyah! There we go. Check that out. Got some flower petals. As you can see, some of the flower petals are bigger than the others, but it doesn't matter. The right one's still going through puberty, so we have 4. Let's go ahead and clean up our desk and just keep on moving and grooving. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just add this foam ab core onto the wire vertebrae joint. It's going to be real simple. We're going to just dry fit it right here, and just remember the skinny side is the front, and the more wider side is the back. Let's just do this. It's going to be simple. Go ahead and do 2 full trigger pumps of glue on both sides. Maybe a little bit in the front middle. That's it. Make sure we got the skinny in the front and the fat in the back, and booyah. Booyah tribe. That's all we're doing. Just making sure that's all nice and lined on that waistline, looking pretty good, and that's just going to be solid in there. And that's it. This wire vertebrae joint is very mobile. Front and back, that's exactly what we want. That's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and trace this lower torso ab, or LTA, right? You should have a piece that looks like this, okay? This funky monkey looking, it looks like a chess piece actually. Whatever you want to imagine, this is what we need. Tracing out. Okay, take your handy dandy grocery bag paper stock, okay? Cut out a 3.5 by 4 inch piece, 3.5 by 4 inches. Fold it in half. Yes, fold it in half like always. We're going to concentrate on the CF right here. As you know by now, it means centerfold. Let's put this on the centerfold, just like this. I'm going to go ahead and just trace this out. Dick Tracy this out. And of course, these are markers right here. And making sure that we get every nook and cranny of this design. And now that we've traced it out, we're going to do a fold cut. 2 for the price of 1, right? 2 for the price of 1. And it's going to be real simple. Again, we should know what fold cut means by now. That means we're doing a fold cut as it's folded. And these are actually markers, so we don't have to actually cut exactly on these markers. Those are just helping us out by telling us where we need to bend it. Of course, that's a cutout right here, this little diamond right here. Open it up and it should look like that. Wow, check that out. You'll notice that this crotch piece is still attached. Moving forward in the video, this will actually be removed from this upper design here. So the piece you have right now moving forward is only this piece right here, and it's the newest design. So moving forward, when you see this attached, don't worry about this old design. And I'm going to take the cap off because, man, my fingers have been getting all... See, look at that. Whatever. Okay, that's the price you pay when you actually use Sharpies for your coloring utensils. You may be using acrylic, watercolor, whatever blue you have at your home. Just have fun with it. I have Sharpies, so I am using Sharpies, okay? And I'm using, obviously, the cap because I don't want navy blue fingers anymore. Look at this. I've been doing a lot of... Sorry, folks. I've had like 6 cups of coffee already. I'm going to switch gears and just... This is a black belt. He's a black belt in judo. You don't know nothing. Alright, let's keep moving and grooving. Before we want to apply it to the ab core piece, we want to go ahead and bring our rag cloth onto the scene because we need to cut out a small little piece. Go ahead and cut off a small little piece like this, okay? Because this piece is going to actually go along this little slot right here. This is where the vertebrae wire joint is going to go, this hole right here, and this whole slot here is going to be where the vertebrae wire joint will be able to maneuver back and forth. So we want to strengthen up this area right here. First of all, let's take some glue right along this front part of this seam right here. We need to go ahead and flap this on over like this to the front side and cause a little bit of a crease right here. Take note, I have this piece onto the table on the parchment paper because the hot glue does not stick onto the parchment paper. Because we're actually closing the gap a little bit right here, and we're also making what looks to be like a front zipper on this bottom part of the abdomen. So we wanted to close that off. We're also going to be adding some glue right on the bottom here to get this started. Go ahead and put some rag cloth right onto that bottom here, making sure that we can fold this on over as well, keeping this little seam closed off. All along this way, all along this whole slot, we're going to be adding some hot glue. Almost hot glue paper mache, except we're going to be following all the way up this line here. Just like this. We're reinforcing all of this right here and making sure that this whole wire joint slot gets good adhesion all the way up. Just making sure that we can fold and mold. Everything feels good and right before we actually add it on to the internal core. Let's go ahead and chop this off right here. We don't need too much of that. We want to make sure that we reopen up this slot right here. I'm going to go ahead and just pinch a little right there. And I'm going to go ahead and cut right down this cloth and reopen this. Because the cloth is going to add a little bit more stability and structure on both sides, so that this grocery bag paper stock won't tear. We can go ahead and add a little bit of rag cloth onto this back belt as well, just a little bit. Just going to go ahead and strengthen this back belt up. Put some glue right on this back belt on the top side right here. Go ahead and put a piece of rag cloth right on top. Again, I don't mind the heat. Go ahead and hot glue paper mache this as well. And we can start thinking about cleaning up our desk and adding this onto the torso. Now that we got the lower torso cut out, folded, put the rag cloth on it, let's go ahead and add it to the abs. All we need to do is take the vertebrae wire joint and stick it through the little slot here and let it rest on the abs here. Now keep in mind that the little diamond cutout right here, this little diamond cut right there, is going to go right on top of the wire joint. Go ahead and get this started by adding some glue right on the front side of this abdomen. Putting it on the wire cloth and putting it on the front side. Going to go ahead and rest it right at the waistline. Just like this. This is going to help guide us being able to put the rest of the tabs down. We'll go ahead and concentrate on these side tabs right here. Just rest it on the side. And this should naturally follow down the natural curve of the inside cord here. I'm going to go ahead and add some glue. Not much, but it was enough to go ahead and let that grab onto this pink foam. We'll alternate it and go to this side as well, putting some glue right on this tab right here. Pin drop of glue, not even a half a trigger pump. Go ahead and rest that down and get that started on that. We're going to deal with these tabs back here. This is going to go all the way back down. These back tabs are going to overlap onto the front tabs just like this. Let's go ahead and add some glue right onto this tab right here. Wisping it. We're going to go ahead and pull down on the back and just lay this tab right on top of this other tab right here. We're going to push this mountain peak down right there, and we're going to take care of this side as well. See how we're alternating side to side? That's not what we want, just to put this on evenly. I'm going to put some glue right on here. Thumbtack of glue. Whenever I say thumbtack of glue or a pin drop, I'm barely even pushing down on the trigger of the hot glue gun. It just depends. Every hot glue gun is different, but I'm not really adding a lot of pressure. And we're going to tack down the sides and the back is what we're going to pay attention to. We're just kind of folding and molding. So I'm feeling good about that. I'm going to go ahead and add some glue right on the back here and the sides. Just like this. And we're just going to tack it down. Okay? We're going to just follow the back, making sure that the belt is above these back pockets. And I am folding and molding, just making sure that I got every drop of glue onto this back piece right here. And last but not least, we're going to deal with the front side tabs, like right here. Spreading on the glue like peanut butter. And there we go. Got that tab taken care of that side, and we're going to do this side as well. Same thing. Going to go ahead and just tighten that up and making sure that we got a nice good seal on all sides before we actually add the front crotch. Just right here. We're going to go ahead and add the front crotch, and we can talk about the back belt as well. I can actually add a little bit of painting up here just to kind of clean that up. I don't care about marker gating onto the wire joint because that'll never be seen. I'm just putting marker right on the inside cloth here. And that's all we're doing. Okay, let's keep rolling.